6 o'clock on a Sunday, but I thought it might be a fun thing to do some urban sketching. You don't know, urban sketching is basically just like plein air painting, where you paint on location outside. Generally, urban sketchers do a lot more architecture kind of thing rather than plein air, which was traditionally just beautiful landscape scenery. But the objective is to just draw from life and capture what's right in front of you as accurately as you can in kind of whatever style or technique you like to use. So I like to bring my watercolors, and everything fits here in my purse, so I will show you all the stuff that I will bring. So I like to use the Hammamule sketchbook and my Go Draw watercolor palette that I got off Etsy, and I will attach all of the colors that I like to use on the right over here. And I like to use this water brush so I don't have to bring a cup of water with me. It's just way more convenient. And as always, I use Micron pens because they are waterproof. And then I have paper towel, binder clips. Lately, I haven't been using this sketchbook because it is full. So I've just been kind of ripping up Arches cold pressed watercolor paper and carrying it around with me in little individual pieces. And I really like doing that because the paper is just really good quality and nice and thick. And then I get to keep it as individuals instead of through a big sketchbook. So that is it, and I'm ready to go. Okay, I'm almost there. I'm gonna take a shortcut. I've always liked working small scale because it gives me this really great sense of accomplishment when I can finish a piece within 15 to 30 minutes on site. And a few years ago, I started working just directly in pen because I would work in pencil and then I would go over it in pen. And to me, it just seemed like it took too much time and kind of made me a little too perfectionistic about my work. And so this way I just decided that I was going to work in pen and then let all of my mistakes just be there and just go over it again in lines, or just kind of let it be wrong and let my lines be a little bit more wonky and not perfectly straight. And I think it adds a lot of character to it that way. There's a lot more history and accidents, and I think you just learn a lot more working this way, not being so afraid of making mistakes, but instead focusing on just drawing what's right in front of you. And then as you do that over and over and over again, you kind of realize what errors you make in the moment, and then instead of wanting to fix it and erase it right then, you just start on the next piece and get it right on the next piece, or you don't, and then you just keep going. But either way, I think it really helps me just be in the present moment and just focus on what I'm making and not beat myself up for mistakes. Been working about 5 minutes. Some stone detailing around the door, and it also looks like that, but also a window. These windows, this is a garage door now. It's easier to see this way. When using this watercolor brush, I squeeze the sides to let the water come out, and then use the water to re-wet my Daniel Smith watercolors to make them soluble again. And here I'm painting the sky. And then we're gonna do the grass. Kind of have to do this in a specific order, just because there's only so much water that I have. Okay, so we're gonna do the grass. Some more blue. And we'll start the shadows already while it's still wet, and also go over it again when that dries. The color of the building is going to be red, and I'm mixing a little bit of yellow, a little bit of Naples yellow, and then some more red, although that's a little too much, and then I'm going to add a bit of orange. And this will be the base color for the building. It's not supposed to be that color. Working on it. Not trying to be perfect, just trying to get it all down. I like to do several layers in my paintings, so this is just the first base coat that I'm adding, and then I'll do more of the texture of the bricks of this building, and then I'll wrap it all together with the shadows. But for now, it just doesn't have to be perfect. It's a little messy, but we'll clean it up as I go on. I also forgot that little part at the top. Oops. Oh, I also forgot to do the tree in the background. That's okay. We'll get to it. We will get to it. The other colors are this kind of cream color, but it looks more orange with the sunset light. So I'm adding Naples yellow and a little bit of orange. And there's kind of this purple color that's going to go in between, but I just decided to cover the whole thing and I'll let it dry, and then I'll go over it with purple here. And I was a little impatient in some areas, so they do start to bleed into the other colors, like you can see down there. So if you're a little more patient, you can just wait for the paper to dry a little bit more, but otherwise I think it still looks fine. I finally remembered to go back in and add that tree in the background. But now I'm gonna start adding some final details, and for this I have a trick for bricks. If it's really small like this and you're covering a big area, you don't have to do every individual brick. You just kind of have to do an illusion of bricks, so just enough so people kind of understand that bricks are there without doing every single one. And I'm going to do a bit more in a little bit different colors, but you can see it already starting to come to life a little bit more, the texture. And I'm just adding a little bit more shadows to the windows right now, but I'll go back in with more bricks. And for For the final layer, I'll add the shadows, which I mix a blue with a pink kind of color, although this one is mostly blue. And I will add the dappled light from the trees behind. And you gotta do this pretty quick because the light will go especially when it's around 5 or 6 o'clock, around sunset time. You also have to make sure to do this pretty quickly, otherwise you'll pick up the watercolor layer underneath, and then they'll all sort of start to blend together, so you have to be a little bit more delicate during this process, but it takes a little bit of trial and error to get it right. And the final step, I go back over in my Micron pens just to be a little bit more bold in my mark making, and just really correct some of those small mistakes I made that you won't notice as much when I really bolden those lines that I really want to be shown. Okay, so I had not one spider, but 2 spiders, and an ant, and another bug crawling on me the whole time, which was super fun. And, you know, but that's painting from life sometimes. Look how pretty those clouds are. So pretty. Okay, so that took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but the sun is down and I finished, and I went to Trader Joe's earlier and got some soda so that I could put it in the fridge and have this after I did such a good job and did my sketch. So nice. So if you like this video, come on, hang out with me. Maybe I'll do some more sketching on site. Thanks for joining.